Okay, happy Sunday. Hello. I know it's been a while since I posted, and I was trying to find some time. And then I was just like, oh, I am tired. I need to take a nap. And so, yes, I'm finally here. And it's been a lot going on, like, especially just this weekend. It's been a lot of different things. And so I was just like, man, I'm kind of tired. I need to take a breather, okay? Even though it's Sunday fun day, right? And it's just like you want to be outside or you want to be doing something, right? That's fun, enjoyable. I was just like, oh no, I need to take a breather today. I need to take a rest. And so that's what I've been doing. And so I'm finally up and I'm dressed. And I was just like, oh man, I have to do a message because it's been a while. And yeah, it's been so many things going on. And stuff that I've been thinking about. And so here we are. Hopefully, you're enjoying your Sunday. I had to do a whole bunch of different stuff. I woke up early today and I was just like, I guess I'm just gonna stay up for a little while. And I was doing some things I enjoy because you know how you get to that place where you're just doing stuff all the time. And anytime you do have, you just want to rest and do something for you. Like you just want to do something for yourself. And so that's what happened. I woke up early and I was just like, it's quiet and like this is a time for me. Like, what do I feel like doing today? And I was just like, oh, I think I'm gonna play this design thing right now. I'm gonna work with that. And then I was just like, oh, well, now it's regular hours. Let me give me some grits. Let me give me some French toast. And now I was like, oh, I got church today. Oh, my show on today. I had to watch Tulsa King too. And then, and then I was trying to finish up on being Eddie with the documentary. And so I did all those things before I was just like, okay, I can't push it no more. I gotta take a nap. I gotta refresh and regroup. And so here I am. I'm still resting because it's still Sunday fun day. But at the same time, I was just like, man, I got to get a message out because it's just been so much going on. So hopefully, once again, you are enjoying your day. I did want to talk about a topic that is super important to me. I've been thinking about it for a while. I don't think I've talked about it yet, but it's something that's very relevant. It's something that's very relevant. And I was seeing some different things this weekend and hearing some different things just over time. And I was like, you know what? We need to get into this. I need to talk about it and we need to get into it, right? I don't care how uncomfortable it makes people feel, but it is the absolute like truth. Like it needs to be out there. And so basically, right? You never know how to start these types of topics, right? Because you don't know how it's going to impact people or how, they're going to be affected by it. But at the end of the day, it's like you have to get it out there. Like you have to speak up. You can't shrink back with this stuff. And as always, I'm going to have some type of biblical reference for you as to why, I believe these things or why it's a foundation or something that I stand very strongly and firmly in. And so, yeah, I was I was in some different experiences or what have you throughout, the past weeks, months, years, whatever. And recently I was reflecting on it because I'm like, you know what? In society, a lot of the time, we like to put it out there that somehow you need to prove yourself to people. You need to prove yourself to get a job. You need to prove yourself to be in this relationship. You need to prove yourself in order to basically be accepted by those around you and your peers and whatever is going on social media, whatever is happening in your life. And I'm just gonna put it out there. I'm gonna say that did we see Jesus going around doing this? Like for real. Like I'm just gonna keep it real. I know we always have that saying, what would Jesus do? And it's just like it's cliche, but for real, that's a lot of where my foundation comes from. And no, I'm not perfect, and no one on this earth is. But at the end of the day, it's not about where we come from. It's not about what we're coming out of or what we've experienced as much as it is how we're choosing, to be now and what we're walking into, basically, like our future and, who we are as people. And so it was super interesting to me because I'm just like, yeah, what is that all about? Like, what is that about? Like, and then I overheard it too recently, and I was just like, that sounds stupid. What have you like? I'm being real. It sounds stupid. Like, why is it that you need to do some type of test or experiment or whatever, put people in scenarios or settings and make it where it's like, okay, now you need to prove to me that you're trustworthy, or now you need to prove to me that, like you're reliable, or you're this person, or you're that person. Like, I don't have to prove anything to anyone. Just like I'm being real. And I would love, as always, to hear all of your reactions to it, and like, your thoughts about it, because this is real. Like, this, hopefully it's a good conversation starter for you and whoever you're around, because it's like, seriously, that's the type of society I feel like we live in. It's one of those things where it's just like, okay, we're all in the same boat. We're all individuals that have come out of a womb, and we're all gonna die the same way. Like, we're all, like, we're all gonna return to dust. And so it's like, where along the way did we get into these places where people are on all these different levels and feel like, okay, well, now you need to prove that you're actually a human being, okay? Like, almost like you on the websites, and it's saying, okay, now press this button and tell me these letters if you're a robot or if you're AI, what have you. Like, let me know, are you a human or are you an AI? Are you a robot? You're a computer. And it's just like, no, when do we get to this place along society's, timeline, or our lives, or whatever, like, even before we were born? It's just like, what happened that it got to a place where it's like, and now you need to prove that this is who you are as a person in whatever way. You get what I'm saying? Like, in whatever way. Because when I'm thinking about it, I'm looking back right through the Bible and the different references of like stories, and you never see Jesus doing that. Like, in fact, like, when we for real go back to one of the first miracles that he, performed, that was when he was at the wedding, right? And he turned the water into wine. And he even told his mama then, like, it's not my time yet, because it basically, it's like, this is going to be an opportunity to show people. It's like, now I'm proving, like, who I am. This ain't the time for that right now, what have you. And not only that, but recognize, at least for me, this is my interpretation, but it's like, recognize even within the Bible, as he was going along, whenever he would be performing miracles for people, or, like, healing them and stuff like that, a lot of the times he would be like, keep that to yourself, like, don't go around and share that or what have you. And then other times he would be like, okay, well, go back and, tell them, tell your friends, tell your family, or whatever, all that has been done for you and how you've been healed and stuff like that. But it wasn't, to prove, like, who he was as a person. It was to pretty much put it out there, like, to believe. You get what I'm saying? Like, does that make sense? It wasn't like, I'm trying to justify myself, or I'm trying to make myself be put on this elevated level, or to make it seem like now I'm acceptable to you. It's more of that was a faith thing. But whenever he was in any other situation, it was just like, I'm not about to prove myself to you. And even with that, what was it was that other story too in the Bible where, what was it? It was when he died, it was the rich man and the beggar, right? It was pretty much putting it out there how you can have two completely different extremes, right? You can have someone who is in extreme poverty, and then you can have someone who is in extreme wealth. And based on how they treated people in society, or how they treated people throughout their life, it dictated what happened after their lives. And so you had the one who was in poverty, who was begging all the time, and, like, asking, for help, even asking the man of wealth, like, for help. And he never did it. And then he ended up dying. And next thing you know, he's in heaven, with Abraham and stuff. And then the guy who was in extreme wealth, when he died, he was down below, right? Because we know this. I'm not, saying because of the cliches, but I'm saying we see this because when you read the Bible story, it says he looked up in heaven, right? He looked up in heaven and he saw him and he was asking for just like some relief. He was like, "Can you just touch my tongue?" Because basically he was in agony from the heat and all of that. And then he was like asking them, "Can you just, go back and inform my family or what have you that this is real and all of that so they don't end up in this situation?" And he's just like, if you didn't believe it, and whatever, like, if you didn't believe it, and if they don't believe none of the people that I'm sending to tell them about this, or about, having faith and salvation and stuff like that, then what makes you think if I send somebody right now that they're gonna believe? You get what I'm saying? And so it's one of those things where it's just like I was really reflecting on it and I'm like, where did we come to a point in life where, or just in this world, right? Because it could have been before I was born, what have you. But it's just like, when did it happen where it's just like you go around and you're supposed to be proving yourself to other human beings? You get what I'm saying? Like, what is that all about? And so, yeah, that's like my reflection question for the day. Like, do you feel that way? Like, do you feel like, cause I do. I feel it, but I don't care. That doesn't mean I'm, like, that don't mean that I'm gonna be doing it and trying to do that, which is why I'm a very firm believer on like, get out here and just do you. Like, be yourself, be authentic, and the person that you should be trying to please, or the entity I should say that you should be trying to please, is God and God alone. You get what I'm saying? Like, if you are seriously after his heart and you are trying to do what's right by him, other things are gonna fall into place with other people. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's when we're out here trying to appease the people around us that's just like us. You get what like, you get what I'm saying? It made me really think about it because I was just like, yeah, we place so much value on things that are just truly not important. We're placing value on a person because, when I say that, I'm saying it because literally that's what it is. VIP, very important person, valuable. But whatever, like, we think this is just a valuable person. They're more valuable than anybody else. That's why they got these labels, like, now you're a very important person. This is a VIP. This is a, whatever it is, it's always some labels for some stuff. But you get what I'm saying? It's like, why? How did we get to this point where it's just like, okay, and now we're going to deem this as being, something worth this much, and where they don't have to prove anything. Whatever. Like, they ain't got to prove nothing because this is who they are, blah, blah, blah. And then you have others where it's like, well, no, this is who they are. And so now they need to prove themselves. I don't know, if they're, I don't, but then when you look in the Bible and it's telling you, well, okay, the most important thing is to love, right? The most important thing is to love. God is love. And what is love? Love always trusts. Love always hopes. It perseveres, like knowing what that is. And then when you see people in the world and you see how that's happening, where it's just like, oh, no, you need to prove who you are to me. You need to, and what have you. And it's just like, I don't know about this, So it made me really reflect on it because literally I was, I was hearing it because it was just like somebody, how they do like the little shows and stuff and try and set things up just for entertainment. But at the end of the day, I was really reflecting on it and I'm like, nah, sometimes people do that in real life. Like, seriously, they'll set up scenarios, or they'll try and put you in a situation, or like all the, for real, like all these different things that they're doing because they want to test, like, is this person this, or is this person that? And I mean, it's been years of all of this type of stuff that I've experienced. I've seen it done. I've experienced it before, myself. I've seen it done to other people. And it's just like, it's so funny because at the end of the day, it's just like, who are any of us to judge somebody else's servant? That's all it is. At the end of the day, it's like, okay, let me test and see. Let me see what type of person this is or what have you. And then it's just like, okay, well, I guess they're okay. Right? And that's what I said a while back. I was just like, I don't know, it made me reflect on it yesterday, seriously, because I was sitting in my car driving and I was just like, I don't want to be with anybody or around anyone or a part of anything that basically needs to do some type of test or some type of, setup to be like, okay, now let me see if this is going to be what this person is. Or, what have you. It's just like, what? You get what I'm saying? So after you do whatever your test is or what have you to see like who I am, what is that going to make me feel like? Like, you basically couldn't trust me at my word. You basically could not take me at face value. You basically could not accept me for who I was. It was when you felt like now you can accept me that I'm acceptable or I'm able to be approved. You get what I'm saying? Like, and that part. That's why I'm like, I hope it's a good conversation starter because that's something that I want us to really be thinking about. Like, that part where we're placing ourselves on these levels, going like, okay, and now they're okay for society. And now, like, and now they can be, acceptable. You can talk to them. You can be around them. They can be a part of this. It's like it's okay now. Like, you can talk to them. You can tell them this. They can be a part of that, and they can go here and they can go, and it's just like, who named anybody someone to do that and say that? Right? Just like I was talking about, you do VIP and say, okay, well, this is a very important person or what have you, as if this very important person can't lie and can't steal and can't, break things and can't behave a certain way. It's so like ironic to me how any of this stuff is set up. Like, it really is. And so, let me get to the bulk. Like, let me get to the nitty gritty on what I'm saying. Um, all of this stuff is always going to go back to acceptance. And when we get to acceptance, I feel like that's when you for real know how to love yourself. Like, that's real. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, the only way that we can accept ourselves as individuals, whatever you may perceive to be a flaw, if you even think you have flaws, weaknesses, whatever you think is a strength or good about you or what have you, like all these different things, right? When you get to a place of loving who you are, that's when you can accept everything. Right? Like, that's when you can accept every single thing about yourself. And then once you can do that for yourself, then you can do it for other people. And you're not going through the motions of, let me try and let me throw this question out and see, let me put them in this type of scenario, let me, do this, basically trying to like maneuver and do some little things just so you can like test a person or what have you. But don't get it twisted. We are supposed to be testing spirits, right? And and when I say test, I'm being very like ambiguous with that word because it's just like, it's a difference between like basically assessing a situation opposed to trying a person, provoking a person, putting, you know what I'm saying? Like, trying to get certain reactions and stuff like that. Like, it's a difference when I'm saying testing. But at the end of the day, it's like no one is going to be able to accept other people until you learn how to accept yourself. And acceptance only comes from when you learn how to love. Right? That's the nitty gritty, right? For the day. I'm for real. That's the nitty gritty because it's like I was really reflecting on a lot of different things, and yeah, that's what I came to. I'm just like, it's a love hate kind of thing, or bittersweet, when you realize that type of stuff, right? Where it's dealing with a person or a relationship or a partnership, or like something you're involved in or something like that. And it's just like, so you can't take a person at what they're saying. You can't accept the person for who they are. You can't, basically, you just can't accept them. You know what I'm saying, for who they are as a person. And I see it all the time. I was looking it up yesterday involving like social media and stuff, and I recently just did something, and every time I go somewhere, that's what they're asking, like, what's your social media, what's your social media, what's your social, and it's just like, I don't want to do that. You know what like, it's almost making it seem like, what were people doing before we had social media? Living life. Whatever, like, before social media was going on, we were living life, and it was just fine. This is something that came, and it was supposed to be an enhancement. This is something that just helps, but it's not mandatory, because we don't, society is making it mandatory. But it's like, it's not something mandatory because we were living life before it. You get what I'm saying? So it's just like, okay. And then you get to this place where you're looking at, the social media or what have you, and it's just like all of this, what's deemed to be acceptable or what's okay, what's in right now, and all these different things. And I was looking up the impacts, of how social media affects people, as far as like making people compare themselves to others, and making them, what you call it, question, like who they are as individuals, and the exposure to things. And when I was seeing it, I'm like, yeah, because, not to say it's all bad, but when you see people on there basically critiquing other people or criticizing them or saying negative things, it's just like, yeah, that's because you can just clearly see it. Like, if a person is doing that, they haven't learned to accept themselves. That's why they sitting up there judging everybody else. That's like, they up there every time they look at, instead of them finding something positive, or instead of them looking at something good, it's like they finding everything bad. And it's like, people don't stop and think, like, if that's how you're perceiving things, that's because that's how you do yourself. However you do other people is how you're doing yourself. So whenever you looking at a picture, or whenever you're seeing some type of video come up or what have you, if all you're saying is negative stuff, or if you tend to do that a lot, recognize that you probably doing that to yourself. You're probably thinking like, oh, do I look this way? Oh, da da da. And when you seriously, like, this is what happens with social media. Like, people swiping through and looking through everything, and it's just like, instead of them just looking and seeing a person, or going like, oh, okay, they live in this type of life, or they're doing this, or they're doing that. Oh, that's great, or oh, okay, type of thing. It's like, instantly, it's like conditioning people to be like, oh, but I'm not doing that, or like, do I look like that? Or do I have this? Da 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 da. Type of thing. And it's just like, no, when you get to a place of accepting yourself, right? Like, truly loving yourself, everything about yourself, like whatever it may be, loving right now, like, right? Because I just went and I did one of the open calls or what have you, which was great. It was a wonderful new experience. But right, it was a wonderful new experience. But it's like, when you go, right, instantly, for me, it's like, okay, I dig this, because I feel like, in order for you to do that type of stuff, you have to have confidence, and you have to be very secure in who you are as a person. So it doesn't matter what the next person looks like. Like, I went in and I was around other people, but it's like, it doesn't matter what you look like or what that person looks like, because there's only one me. You right? Like, we may have, we may have similar eye shapes, we may have similar, lips or something like that, but they not the same, and how God made me is completely different from how he made you. And everybody is unique in that way, right? But it's so, like, ironic to me, or like crazy, how we miss that. Like, we forget that when you get on things like social media, or when you're seeing other people, and then you get to that place where you want to constantly compare. And it's like, no, that's why God made all of us different, right? You have to get to a place of loving yourself and for real accepting who you are as a person. Like that is real. So I'm telling you, like today's reflection for me that I want you all to like really be chewing on and like talking about with others and reflecting on is, do you do that? Like, like for real, like, do you feel like in society we are in a place where it's just like we have something to prove to other people, right? Like, cause I'm just be real. Like I feel like we do in society. That's how it's set up. That's how things go in pretty much everything, right? Like you have something to like I have to put out a thingy and I have to say this is what I'm a part of or this is what this is, blah blah blah, blah instead of taking me at face value, or what have you. Not to say that I agree with it. I'm just saying that yeah, I do believe that that's how it is in society and that's how things are set up. But at the same time, I also want us to be reflecting on, your love for yourself, your acceptance for yourself, right? Do you have that? Right? Like, do you have that? Do you feel like other people need to prove things to you? Do you feel like that? Because I don't. I'm just be real. I don't. And that's why I can say it all the time. Like, yeah, I study relational, and relational therapy or like systemic counseling and how, one person impacts the other and this thing impacts that within a system and all of that. But at the end of the day, I may not like certain behaviors. I may not agree with everything that, other people do. And even myself, I'm a human being. I'm imperfect. So sometimes I do some stuff that's questionable, like even to myself. And, that I know God ain't for, or sometimes I do things I know He is for. At the end of the day, it's like I still accept myself. I still accept it, whether it's a mistake, whether it's intentional, whether it's something good, whether it's something bad. Even my face, I'm like, oh, I had to look at my pictures the other day. I was like, oh, I was born like this. Like you look and you see how you transform over the years. And I'm like, yeah, I never grew eyebrow and that, like in that portion of my face, I never grew eyebrow hair, what have you. And then I was looking at my eyes and all these different things. And it's just like, you get to a place where you're like, man, but I like that. Like that's me. Like I like that. I love that. And same thing with like your skin and like I think I have like a little beauty mark or like a little dot or what have you on my eye. And it's just like I didn't realize that until like I was in my 20s. And then you get to a place where it's just like when you compare yourself to other people, it's like you're finding problems with yourself, right? Like you're finding problems with yourself, like for real. And not only that, but sometimes you're sitting up there creating your standard of beauty based on what you see on somebody else because that's what society has said is beautiful or that's what society says is acceptable. And it's like, understand, you are already approved. Like God has already created us. He is the creator. He is the best creator. He don't create nothing bad. You right? Like everything he do is good. Hello, okay? God is good all the time, and all the time God is good. It is nothing on this earth that he ain't create that ain't, good. And so at the end of the day, it's like, man, you better embrace the mess out of that. Like when I tell you, you better embrace the mess out of that. Like everything about yourself. Love it. Everything about yourself. Even things that you like, oh man, every time I go up the stairs, I be tripping on this, like, oh, I be tripping on it. Oh, like I say this, all the blah, blah, blah. Like, get to know yourself and get to, for real, love yourself. Love it. Instead of looking out and trying to see, like, what other people think is appropriate or what they think is enjoyable or what they think is acceptable. It's like, no, you figure out for yourself what's acceptable. You look at yourself in the mirror and you better love every part of it. Like love every single inch of your body, love every single thing that you know about yourself, that that is true and unique to who you are as a person, because it ain't nobody else out here like you. You're right. Like, I don't care how much we want to find similarities. Oh, that's common. Oh, I do that too. Oh, yeah. It's like at the end of the day, there is only one you. Only one you. Do you get what I'm saying? You better love that. Love everything about it. I don't care if you think it seems bad. And once you start diving into that, you might even realize, like, where did that come from? Why do I think this is so bad? It could have been something somebody said over the years. It could have been because you saw something and thought it was bad or what have you. But understand, like, everything about you is intentional. That's like everything is intentional. And if it's something that you don't like, if it's something that you want to change, like, we read the Bible and then we get convicted on certain things where it's just like, oh, I do that, but why? Like what Paul say, like, oh, the things I don't want to do, I just keep on doing, and the things that I'm not trying to do it, and type of thing. It's like, if you read the Bible, if you find the things out along the way and that it's like, okay, I need to change it up, change it up. And then find something good about that, right? Like find the beauty in that. That is just like, you know what? I can self-assess. I can be self-aware, and then I know how to go after that. I know how to continuously grow and evolve and make myself, better along with God. Like, I'm working with him and he's working with me, but you better start loving yourself. Like, for real out here. Start loving yourself. And if that means taking you a break from social media, if that means taking you some time for yourself, if that means doing something that everybody around you don't typically do or society doesn't do, you better start doing it. Like, I'm for real. You better start doing it, because there is nothing like love, and it's nothing like when you know how to love yourself. Because I'm telling you right now, it's tried and true. It is the absolute truth. You're not going to be able to love other people if you can't love yourself. Period. It's not happening. Like, it's not, I'm serious, it's not happening. You can't do something for somebody else that you can't do for yourself. What they say, you on the airplane and you got the little thing, oh, we in a situation and now I need the mask on, and you sitting up there trying to put the mask on somebody else, but you ain't put it on yourself. You have to learn how to love yourself first in order to accept yourself, so that you can accept other people. Like I said before, it's so much stuff that be going on all around me, all throughout the years and everything. And it's just like, just because I don't say things about stuff, that don't mean that I agree with everything or I approve of everything. It just means that I know how to accept people as they are. You get what I'm saying? Like, because I know, right? I know what it means to be growing and go through things in life, and then you learn along the way, and then you make some changes. I know what it means to be, self-conscious or in a place where you don't have as much confidence in yourself, and then you grow and you learn some things and you become more aware, and then you become more confident, right? Like, it's this change, it's this process, it's this growth, right? Where you can for real learn how to accept yourself, so that you can know how to accept other people. But I'm telling you right now, you're not going to get any type of acceptance for yourself if you don't know how to love yourself. You have to figure out what love is in order for you to accept everything about you. And I'm telling you, that's going to boost everything else. Like, that's going to boost your confidence. That's going to start to show in everything that you do. It's going to show in your walk. It's going to show in your talk. It's going to show in how you carry yourself. All of that. You get what I'm saying? But if you don't get to the core of what it is, which is, you have to know what love is. And you have to love yourself, right? Like, when you love yourself, like, how many years, did I go through, people talking about all types of things with my body, what have you, like, all types of things with my body. And, even with us growing up, whether, you're a preteen or like adolescent or something like that, everybody goes through it, where we have this part where we're going through our identity and we're trying to figure out who we are and stuff. And you're looking to your peers and you're looking to society and the media and stuff to see, like, what's important. Like, I used to always have, like, the Teen Vogue magazines and Word Up and stuff like that. And you always seeing, like, all these pictures and things like you seeing all these pictures and you're just like, I don't look like that. And like you'll want whatever the trend is and all of that, but it don't look good on your body type. Or, like you don't fit that or what have you. And then you get older, right? And you realize like, okay, this is who I am and this is what I like. This is what works best for me. This is, and for real, it's called loving yourself. It's when you love yourself and when you can accept yourself, right? Then you can do that for other people. It doesn't matter what they're doing. It don't matter what they saying. It don't matter what's happening. You get what I'm saying? Like this stuff is real. And so for today, like that's the message I really wanted to get out for us to be reflecting on. Like, of course, I'm always trying to do a call to change. Like, right, call to action. Let's do a call to change. Like, I'm tired of that. Like, how we live in a society where it's like, I have to prove this and I got to prove that. Like, no, I'm not. And if you choose to think this way about me, then that's your prerogative. Like, think it all day, but I'm still going to be who I am, whether you think this or you think that. Like, what I'm like that. I'm still going to be this because this is how I feel about myself and this is what I know about myself, and I'm gonna be okay whether you like it or you don't. What have you. But for real, some people like they don't feel that way. Some people are waiting for someone else to tell them, like they're beautiful, or for someone else to let them know like you're acceptable or you're approved. And it's just like we live in a world that's like that, but our God has already approved us, right? He wouldn't have sent Jesus to die for us. He wouldn't have sent him to suffer for us. And everything that we were going to do wrong and everything that we're, doing wrong or whatever, he wouldn't have done it if he didn't approve of us already and love us already. So once we get to that place where we realize like he didn't make any mistakes, God didn't make any mistakes with any of us, right? I don't care what you look like. I don't, like I don't care what you look like. I don't care, what you've been through or any of that. Understand that he didn't make any mistakes with you. And so now it's up to you, right? To look in the mirror and be okay with yourself. Be more than okay with yourself. Like, love yourself. Right? Like, that's where it's at today. It's like, I want you to seriously look in the mirror and I want you to love every single part about who you are as a person. Like, love it. Love the mess out of it. And I'm not saying, that once again, I have to keep reiterating. I'm not saying that we are perfect because we're not, but I'm saying learn how to accept yourself as you are and be in a place where you're willing, right, to make changes, to grow, to be okay with the fact that you're not perfect, but you're striving towards something, right? Like you're striving towards something, whatever that may be for you. But love yourself and don't be out here waiting on somebody else to tell you to love yourself or that you're lovable or that, like you're beautiful or that you're approved or what have you. Like, don't do that. You were made by the most mighty, like, like wonderful, just loving, just, like you were made by the greatest creator. Like, come on now. Like, don't minimize him and his power. Don't minimize who he is and all that he's done for us. Don't do that. Like, you are worth so much more. And although society has it where we'll deem someone a very important person, or we'll say, oh, this person is, high profile, high net worth, not, whatever. It's society doing it. What I'm looking at, this is some other people deciding, like, yeah, that's who they, but it's just like, understand, God took people who no one knew. He took people that other people thought were completely insignificant and invaluable and not worthy, and had them placed on high pedestals. You get what I'm saying? Like, and even then, you get what I'm saying? These individuals still lifted him up. Right? So understand, like, you have been created by the absolute best. You better walk like it. You better talk like it. You better act like it. Like, you better act like No, I don't want to hear it. All this stuff in society, all this stuff on social media, all this stuff in the media that's saying, okay, if you dress like this, if you look like that, if you wear that, if you say this, da 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 da, be yourself. Figure out who you are, figure out all that God has created you to be, and keep walking in that, because God is a man. He's a God of transformation. So we ain't finished until the absolute end. So you don't know who you gonna become, right? Like people always say that too, like, oh, this is my calling and blah 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 blah. It's like, yeah, but we not finished until the end. You don't know what God got in store. He's constantly doing things. We're constantly walking into who he's calling us to be more and more and more. We're like becoming more and more like him every single day, every single time we're doing something, and following his will. So trust it, like, and believe in yourself and love yourself so that you can do it for other people. And I mean that. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's today's message and reflection that I want us to be for real chewing on, talking about, and seriously having conversations about, because this stuff here, I feel like I'm for real. This stuff here in society, I'm tired of that. I'm tired of it. Like, oh, well, I heard this, I saw that, and they need to blah, blah, who are you? Like, you're another person just like me. Like, we all out here trying to figure it out, hopefully. We're all out here trying to figure out life. We're all out here trying to make the best decisions. We're all out here, trying to, make it each day. So it's like, no. At the end of the day, we all came from a womb. We're all going to die and return to dust. That's how it is. That's how it goes. Don't make things harder on other people than you need to, right? And especially being you want to treat other people like you want to be treated. So at the end of the day, it really sucks that we live in a society like that, where, it's all of this, basically you have to be accepted. Right? You have to be accepted to be treated a certain way, or approved of to be treated a certain way. And it's just like, no, I'm not going to do that. What have you. Like, I see it, I hear it, but I'm not that type of person. And that's the great thing, I think, for believers. I think that's a great thing about trusting him and following him and knowing that that's who we live for, right? Like, we living for God and God alone, and trying to do what's right by him. Everything else, it falls into place. But just because we see things and you hear things, that don't mean that you have to do it. That does not mean that. So trust him, and like I said before, be reflecting on that for real. Like, do you do that in society? Are you that type of person where, I'm not talking about testing spirits, like, and also when I said testing the word, it's like, I ain't talking about provoking people, putting them in situations, trying to experiment and stuff like, no. I'm talking about for real, accepting people for who they are, right? Like, treating people how you want to be treated. And again, we can't do that for others if we don't know how to do it for ourselves. So the key thing, right, the nitty gritty that I was getting into is, seriously, we have to get to a place of loving ourselves. You have to love yourself. You have to love yourself. And loving ourselves doesn't mean looking at other people and trying to figure out, like, okay, what do they have? Should I have that? Like, what are they doing? I should be doing that. Like, what do they say is in right now? What are they like? No. What have you. Like, it's for real about embracing who you are as a person and loving that. That's what it's about. Embracing yourself, gaining self-awareness, gaining, insight on who you are as an individual, and for real, loving that, everything that God created you to be, and walking in it, and breathing in it, and loving it, and acting like it, and all of that, right? Like, get out here and for real embrace all of that, all of it, everything about yourself. I don't care what it may be. Embrace the mess out of that, and let God know that you are so grateful, right? For the temple that he's given you, for, how he created you, just like, oh my goodness, this potter, right? Like, oh my goodness, this potter, and how he's just sculpted us and put us together, how it's so intentional. Your eyes and, your hair, the fact that he knows every single strand of hair on on our head. You get what I'm saying? Like, come on now. You better walk in this and act like it. You better be out here talking like it, breathing like it. Don't ever let anybody around you make you feel less than. I don't let these titles confuse you. Don't let all these labels confuse, all these groupings and these categories. Don't let none of this stuff distract you from knowing who created you and that he was intentional when he did it. And then get to love that so much that you for real can do it for someone else. Okay? Like that's where we are today. For real, that's where we are today. You better get to love yourself. That's how I can so easily hear people say things or do stuff, or any of that. And it's just like, and that's how you feel? Well, that's how you feel? Okay. And even if it's positive, it's like, that's great. I'm grateful for it, but all glory to God. Okay. Like all glory to God. Whenever I hear it, it's like I can accept a compliment, but it's just like in all glory to God, because he is the creator and he's the one who created it, right? Like all glory to him. But at the end of the day, yeah, I hope it was helpful for you. I hope it's something that for real, it encourages more conversation. And I hope it gives you something to think about and something to chew on, because it's real. It's real. Society, has a way of really trying to tear people down. And it's just like, no, love on you, love on yourself. For real, and in a healthy way, right? Like, I'm not saying be selfish. I'm not saying be full of yourself. I'm not saying none of that. Be arrogant and stuff. I'm saying, no, for real, just love on yourself so that you know how to do it for someone else, right? Instead of when you see them, you're looking for something negative, or when you're scrolling through your social media or, videos and stuff like that, you're looking for all the negative, or you're trying to compare yourself with them and, see like, well, do I have that? Do I look this way? Or well, their hair is this color and mine is this, or they look like this and I look like that. Like, no, 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 no. God made you intentionally to be that way, right? Love that. He didn't make no mistakes, right? Like, he didn't make none. And once you get there, right? Like, once you get there, and people know what I'm talking about. If you out there, you one of those where it's like, oh yeah, I love the mess out of me, I'm like, yes, right. Like, then you know how it feels. Like, well, it feel good, right? Like, it feels good and it shows. And so it's one of those things that once you have that, you can truly do that for other people. You really can. You can love on them in all ways. And it's just like, you may not even agree with what they do. You may not like the decisions that they're making and stuff like that, but you can always find, right, the good, or you can always find something positive. And not only that, but you can accept them. You can accept them in whatever space they're in, because we're all growing and we're all changing and we're all going through things in life, learning different things at different times, and we know how we are. Right? Like how you can what was that? I was watching a documentary, and that's what he was saying. Like, you look at pictures of yourself and videos of yourself from the past, and it's like, I'm not even that person anymore. What have you, like, for real, because that's how it's meant to be in life. We're meant to evolve, we're meant to transform, we're meant to grow. It's meant to be that way. And so that's why I'm like, man, like, get to a place where you love yourself, and for real, you can find that acceptance so you can share that with someone else and help them along their journey, right? So that is where it's at today. That's the message, and I hope that it was helpful, and I hope that you're enjoying your Sunday. And if you are not, and you don't know about Sunday Fun Day, you better go and enjoy yourself, like whatever that may be. Even if it's sitting reading your Bible, reading a book, going outside, taking a walk, sitting and watching TV, doing nothing, whatever, whatever it is, take some time for yourself today and just enjoy the day. Like, enjoy this rest, right? So yeah, I'm glad I was able to get back to you all, because it's been a few, just busy things going on, but I've been enjoying myself, so that's a blessing too. So yeah, I guess I shall try and talk to you all at another time. So see you soon. Until then.